Hello everyone, welcome to the IAS Mentor World History series. In this video, we will analyze what is communism, what kind of impact it had on human history. So far we have seen capitalism, socialism in previous videos. Please, if you don't watch previous videos, I strongly recommend to watch socialism and before that capitalism. Then only you will understand communism in a better way. When it comes to communism, the person who made this concept very popular was Karl Marx, along with his friend Friedrich Engels. Combinedly, they have given something called Communist Manifesto. Communist Manifesto. In the year 1848. Karl Marx also, and both Friedrich Engels and Karl Marx also created one more book called Das Kapital in 1860s. These two became foundational theses, foundational theories for building communist state in human history. It has shaped humanity forever. People not even imagined, visualized this kind of state is going to happen in human history. That's what Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels have shown, a different kind of theory, a different kind of method, different kind of ideology which will reflect in our humanity. Again, any kind of development in our human history, always think nothing is going to come out of vacuum, nothing is going to come suddenly out of nothing. Always there is a context. There is a context and there are certain circumstances in which they are going to emerge. While dealing with socialism also, we have already analyzed those. Once again, briefly, if I show you the map, better way to understand. French Revolution in 1789. What happened in 1789? This French Revolution is against inequality, social injustice, against privileges. French society was divided into three layers: clergy, nobility, and common people. Whereas common people were the tax-paying people, but when it comes to privileges, they will not be having any privilege. They are not allowed to enter into the bureaucracy with merit system. Everything already decided. Corruption at the top. Meritorious people were not even encouraged. By birth, decided who is very rich, who is very poor, who is privileged social high status, and who is not having any kind of status. People vexed with this kind of system, they have completely uprooted that and they have changed society in France. Equality. There is a slogan in French Revolution that equality, liberty, fraternity. That kind of system emerged. It is France. It is near to other places in Europe. Immediately it triggered in other places as well, including United Kingdom. There also society is similar, layer by layer, social structures are there. Some are privileged, some are poor, someone very rich, someone very poor, some are living in good houses, luxury places. On the other hand, people working very hard, but hardly they are able to get food. They had to suffer from hunger. Food riots also used to take place. If there is any kind of failure due to rains, then everything collapses. In famines, millions used to die. Again, who is going to die first? Poor people only. The more hard work you are putting, the more suffering you are undergoing. This was the similar situation everywhere. They also started revolting. In 1789 also revolted, 1830 also revolted, 1848 also revolted. Then revolt means against whom they are revolting. Already those who are in power, like kings. There are different names. Some people called kings, some people called monarchs. Church, feudal lords. These are the people who are already traditionally powerful. Some were having a power, authority in their hand. Some were having religious power in their hand. Feudal lords were having land power, religion power, political power. Now, with this power in their hand, they are controlling more than 90% of the people. This section in the society less than 10%, whereas remaining people 90%. This was the society for so many centuries it is going on. With the French Revolution, awareness created. Already we have seen in our French Revolution video, we have analyzed what are the factors for French Revolution. That is how it is affecting other places also. In previous video, how capitalism also emerged. In capitalism, now before capitalism, they were the existing powerful people. When it comes to the rise of capitalism, new class called capitalist class. In addition to that, in addition to monarchs, in addition to church, in addition to feudal lords, one more class emerged, that is capitalist class or bourgeoisie class. Bourgeoisie class during Industrial Revolution. Before Industrial Revolution, this one. During Industrial Revolution, this one. Now, whatever may be the timings, the situations are not changing. Some people are very rich, some people are very poor, and not some people, majority of the people are poor. Majority of the people are working very hard, paying the tax to themselves. Now, each and every class is taking their own share from the society. Feudal lords, they collect in the form of serfdom, bonded labor, land, controlled economy in their hands. Church, in the name of religion, sentiment, emotion, in the fear of God, people are obeying the church. In the fear of army, military, police force, people are afraid of monarch. When it comes to capitalist class, for earning wages, for earning salaries, people are working very hard for the capitalist class. This is the context in which Karl Marx, and he also, most of his time, he lived in abject poverty himself also. Out of that anger, out of that frustration, out of his conditions, this system emerged. This new idea emerged. Whatever he told, it resonated across the society. That's why society gradually, even though the conditions ripen, whatever idea he visualized, it has taken some time to come into reality. But people adopted his ideology because many of the people are close to that kind of conditions. This is the background. In 1848, I have already just mentioned, Communist Manifesto came, Das Kapital also. In these books, he highlighted these existing social structures, which he called exploiting structures. Exploiting structures, or the class he called exploiting class. And remaining people, whoever suffering from this, are called exploited class. This resonated across the world. Here in this case, Europe case, this is the one. It resonated even in India also. In India also, there is a fourfold Varna system. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Again, layered society. By birth, no one is equal. By birth, someone is rich. By birth, someone is very poor. Entire life, if a person is born in the family of a leather worker who is making shoes, and remaining rest of his time also goes in that work only. Even if person wants to rise above that, society will not allow them, because God has created Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. They are supposed to function like that only. The moment if anyone violate this order, then king will come and support, king will come and the punishment will be given to those who are the violators. In the name of protecting dharma, And these are considered the person who is trying to rise above the economic condition, rise above whatever he was born, then he is propagator of adharma, and he will be punished in the name of maintaining social order, maintaining dharma. It's everywhere. In American society something, in Chinese society something, in India something, in European society something. That's why Marxist ideologies resonated across the globe. Any idea becomes acceptable only when the society is very unjust in nature. Otherwise, all of a sudden, no idea will become such a popularity, get such popularity. This is the system in which he was living, and he analyzed entire human history. He came to conclusion that throughout the past, exploiting class and exploited class are there. Always there is some kind of struggle between exploited class and exploiting class. French Revolution is one such example. European revolutions are one such examples. That's what his interpretation of human history. What kind of impact it had? Communism means what? According to his theory, he says, first, let this exploiting class should go. How they will go? Will they go automatically? When French people asked for equality, did they give? They will not give. His theory is saying these people only should take from them. They will not give. This class only should take from them. What is this class is having? Let me write one by one. I hope you are very clear with this. This ideology became so popular, it resonated the minds and hearts of so many people, it has changed human history forever thereafter. The first example of this ideology is the Russian Revolution. Like French Revolution, Russian Revolution, inspiration is Marxist ideology. What is, if exploited class want to take from the exploiting class, what they are going to take it? The exploiting class, what they have, what they possess? They possess political power. With the political power means military, army, or military, police force, civilian. If it is a civilian military, police, military, national level, military. Whatever may be the name of it, it is force. With the force, monarch is controlling the political power. Now, religious power. With the political power, they are creating fear in the minds of the people. With the religious power, church, pope, creating fear in the mind of the people. With land power, feudal lords, they were creating fear in the minds of the people. If someone tried to get away from feudal lord, they were punished. They were captured, ruthlessly tortured, and sometimes killed. Feudal lords, they were treating the people who are working for him as slaves, serfs, bonded laborers. Next, industrial power. So different classes, exploiting class, they were having, what is in their hands? They are having factories, capitalists. Identify this. In previous video, we have seen what are the origins of capitalism, then how socialism emerged. The another level of socialism is now communism is emerging. Political power, religious power, land power, and industrial power. Now this section, exploiting class. In the name of holding their own power, in the name of holding social order, they are exploiting larger section of the people. The exploiting class and exploited class suffering. What they are getting? In return, they are suffering. He wants a revolution. He wants a revolution because reformation is not possible. Throughout the past, people with reformation peaceful means this section never gave power to the landless. Feudal lords never given land to the landless peasants. Religious power was not democratized. They always created fear in the mind. If someone questioned it, they were eliminated. Political power, king never said, I don't want power. You only people, you take it. Nowhere it happened. He wanted revolution is the only solution. If you want any change in the life of the exploited class, if you want to break the bonds, chains, who created the chains? These are the classes who created the chains in different layers. You have to attack them. Capitalist class, you have to attack them. You have to attack them. You have to attack them. This became so inspirational and it is going to create a lot of violence now. And it has seen, humanity has seen a lot of violence in this process. They attack the capitalist class. They are going to attack the feudal lords, religious power, and political power. In fact, during French Revolution, all these three things have happened. After French Revolution, a new class emerged in France also. This class is going to get affected during 1848 revolution. That's why 1848 includes this. In 1789, revolution is against this. 1848 revolution against existing remnants and this new class. Communist manifesto came in this. Are you following it? Now, sequence of events. In this way, that revolution. Now, if someone is talking about revolution, will these people allow them to follow revolution? Never. Immediately, church is going to attack them. Feudal lords are going to attack them. Capitalists are going to attack them. These three people have the support of the monarch and the monarch is going to attack them. This is why there was a clash of ideologies. Some wanted strong monarchy, some wanted a classless society. He says, first the moment you remove them, so that there will be no class. Classless society will come. Then after that he says, even people don't require any state also. Here political power means state or nation or empire, different names for the same. A country, state, government. Government also, according to Karl Marx, government also not required. In the process, governmentless people also will emerge. That he calls community. Entire humanity, global community. If this happens across the nations, across the empires, across the globe, that is called global community. What is his vision? Classless, so that no exploitation takes place. Stateless, so that no one will feel indifferences, no one feel injustice in that particular kind of society. That is called classless and stateless society, where everyone is equal, is like a commune. Let me compare between capitalism, socialism, and communism. Then you will better understand what Karl Marx ideology is all about. Capitalism, socialism, and communism. In this format, the basic here when it comes to capitalism, property owned by whom? Property owned by individuals. Private property, rights. That means A landlord will have a lot of land. A priest will have land. Church will have land. Common people also can have land. But this property in the name, everyone can have the land. But in capitalism, who will get more land? It is like a race. A factory owner who is getting more profits will have more property. A factory owner who is not getting property will not have property. Class, when it comes to laborer class, no property at all. They remain wage earners. They remain workers, landless. Laborers or any kind of property will not be there. But this is the fundamental philosophy. That means if there is a country, whatever property you take land, land belongs to individuals. Land is one property. When it comes to socialism, here state is the owner. State is the owner. That means government is the owner. For example, in case of India, if you take public sector undertaking like BL, Bharat Electronics Limited, BHEL, NTPC, these are public sector undertakings. Government is the owner. When they are formed, government is the owner. If you take private people like Reliance example, that is owned by an individual. If there is no public sector undertakings in the country, everything is individual. So many companies, anyone can form company and they can earn money as much as they want. If government don't interfere, here government do not do business. Government will not do business here. The moment if you put one company by the government itself, then government will start making textiles, government will start making steel, government will start producing coal. But in this case, capitalism, nothing. Government will not do any business. And government will never interfere in the business. Government only say that you people, you keep on competing, you keep on earning money. I am here to protect your property, whether it is small property or big property. But what is the problem in the process? In the process, some people became very rich, majority people became landless laborers, no property right, no wealth. Many people became laborers, industrial laborers, landless laborers. Some people are enjoying ultra rich life, majority people living in slums. That is why socialism concept came, where some people told that should not be the case. State should be the owner of some property. You take land of the country belongs to the state. There will be private players also. Private players also will be there. But private players cannot manipulate and cannot exploit the people. Government will keep on observing them, And if private players are not playing the game fairly, immediately government will take over that. In case of India, nationalization of banks. If bank owner is there, if government do not interfere in the bank owners, then that is capitalism. If government come and said, all these banks do not belong to private people, it belongs to me. Government, nationalization of the banks. That is an example. Private players also will be there. Government also do business. Government do business. This is why it is doing business. Because it says in capitalist, if there is a company, owners are enjoying, laborers are living in slums. Owners are not giving good salaries to laborers. The wages are not equal between men and women. Child labor is going on. Their exploitation is going on, but profits they are taking, owners are taking, benefits are not coming to workers. Why socialism came? Socialism says, we have to create the wealth. We have to distribute also. Distribute. If government do business, government will give better salaries to the laborers. Equal wages for both men and women. We will not encourage child labor. We will provide good health and education facilities to the employees. Distributing. It is not for the profit, it is for the distribution. In this case, if company created, that is for profit, as much profit as possible. Now, this is what? Socialism. And what is this last stage, communism stage? It says, initially, state control land, property, everything, control everything. There is no concept of private property. Here, there is at least some people have private property. In this case, not even that. If you place anything in India, for example, if India is a complete absolute communist state, means if you go somewhere on the map of India and say, who is the owner of this land? Immediately, government is the owner. In the present condition, if you go and put any dot on the map of India, and somewhere, some people might be the owners. If you go and take somewhere, if you put, there will be property rights. Owner of that land, owner of that agriculture land belongs to so and so. Owner of this factory is so and so. Owner of this particular territory is so and so. That's what land titles, protection of the rights of the people, private property. Someone is having a house. This house belongs to this person. This agriculture land, these many acres belong to this person. This factory belongs to this person. That means what? Private people are owning the wealth. This person is having this many lakhs of, this much lakhs of wealth. This person is having owner of these many crores. Money is having the owner. But when it comes to this, every inch territory belongs to state. Every rupee belongs to government only. No private property. Then if everything taken by the government, then how people will live? It says, government distribute. Here rich people will be there, poor people will be there. Here also rich people will be there, poor people will be there. According to ideal communism, there is no rich, no poor, everyone equal. So what is this? Identify the difference. This ideologically, that's why this ideology inspired people very rich, ultra poor. This system created on one hand very ultra rich, ultra poor, huge gap. When it comes to this ideology, this gap should be reduced. Rich will be there, poor also will be there, but this ultra poor rich should get some more property, and this ultra rich should donate something. That's why gap reduction. Poor and rich divide will be reduced. Social justice we call. Injustice, social injustice, social justice. When it comes to this, no rich, no poor. Both are same. Now when both are same means what? Classless. There is no difference between the classes. Because rich is also a owner of this country. Poor is also owner of this country. Government will decide what everyone needs according to their needs. Government will decide according to their ability, according to their needs. Government will distribute it. There is no rich person, there is no poor person, classless. Initially, according to Karl Marx, over a period of time, even this class also will go. Even class, state is also not required. This state, here state is making like this classless. After some time, state also feel, that means someone in the government also feel that that is not required. Now there is no government also. That means everyone is equally living as per their needs, as per their ability. Classless and stateless. Later it becomes stateless also. But ideally, is it possible? Will everyone will share the similar kind of ideology? No. Ideally, some people will not share the same ideology. If someone get the land and they want to keep their land with them, and they are not ready to distribute them, share with them. And also very difficult to visualize this ideal society. That's where, but in history, people got inspiration because it is the most inspirational. No class, no state. That means everyone is equal, everyone is happy. Here, majority are suffering. Here, everyone is happy. Ultimately, the objective of human life is to live happily. And this is what communism is talking about. It is inspiring the people. That's why it affected entire Europe. First place where this ideology got reflected is Russian Revolution in 1917. I will show the map, then you will understand. In 1917, that is the crux of communism. You have already got. In this place, political power in the hands of what? Tsars. The emperor name is called Tsar in Russian language. Church power is there, church. Feudal lords, industrial owners, factory owners. In 1917, people who got inspired by Karl Marx ideology, Karl Marx has given in 1850s, 1860s. By 1917, it is getting reality. First time, there, some people named themselves as communists. So their ultimate aim is to become communist state. Communist means we don't want any class difference, we don't want a state also. Under the leadership of Lenin, here people removed them. People captured the factories, people captured the lands of feudal lords, people captured the lands of the church, people captured the royal palaces. Communists, they called communists. Their ultimate aim is to make a Russian society a classless and stateless society. At the top level, people got inspiration of this Karl Marx ideology, but common people who are living under abject poverty and ignorance, no literacy, illiterate, those people don't even know who is Karl Marx. For them, only they have to come out of the poverty. The moment they got land from feudal lords and they don't want to give it to the communist party or the state. The people who are ruling, they want everything belong to state. Now, there is no owner according to state in Karl Marx ideology. But the people once they got the land, they don't want to give. They have taken from feudal lords, but they don't want to give. Again, they want property for themselves. That's why in Russia, to build communism into reality, they had to follow this authoritarianism. They have to follow dictatorship. That means Karl Marx told revolution is the solution. Through revolution, you have to destroyed. But the party which come to power in Russia are the people who captured the state. They had to follow authoritarianism, dictatorship, to get the lands from those poor people who have already got from the feudal lords, from the church. That's why their aim is to make communist state, to make classless and casteless and stateless society. When it comes to India, caste also will come. Classless, casteless, stateless society. When it comes to Russia, classless and stateless society. In the name of creating such kind of state, in the name of creating an ideal state of Karl Marx, people who got the state power behaved very authoritatively, dictatorship. They go to the farmers. Earlier farmers were very poor. They got some land from the feudal lord in Russian Revolution. But new government will take the land from peasants. If peasants protest, then they are punished. If someone is having feudal lord remnants, and they will take. If someone question, send them to imprisonment. In this way, to some extent through, they have nationalized. It is called, the name called nationalized lands, resources, factories, lands everywhere nationalized. Then they started following, once everything came under government, they started planning it, planned economy. This much for agriculture, this much for industry, this much for trade. Everything controlled by state, authoritarianism. Initially in 1930s and 1940s, in 1930s and 1940s, the conditions of people improved. Industries improved, technology improved, people conditions also improved. It became role model. But at what cost? They are behaving. Whoever questioned those people, even people who lost their land, if someone questioned, they were imprisoned. So simply with the force, that's what revolution is all about. With the force, they are trying to create a classless society. But again, after some time, this system also became like those who are in the government, they became corrupt. Again, nepotism created. Again, rich and poor came. Those who were in the power, they became very rich. Those who were at the bottom, again poor. Then people could not understand what is this communism. Only in the name of communism, they are talking about this, but in the end, again, it is behaving like a capitalist state. That's why communism, even though it inspired initially, but later it gradually declined. Ultimately, people wanted justice, people wanted equality, but that is not happening again in this also. They gradually moved away from this. Even Russia also started following capitalism after some time. This is how capitalism and socialism, communism. Russia later inspired China also. Chinese communist revolution took place. In many places, Vietnam also communist revolution took place. Cuba also communist revolution took place. Everywhere, ambition is to make classless society, stateless society. But in the process of making classless and cashless, state became very much authoritative. No democracy, no freedom of speech, no freedom of expression. Then forcefully they have taken and they try to distribute. But in the distribution process, whoever distributing, they earned more. And again, some people became very poor. In comparison with the capitalist society, initially the differences reduced, but again differences increased. Today, no one is following. Meanwhile, the capitalist states also started changing their ideology also. They also started following pure free market is not possible because it is creating ultra rich and ultra poor. And economy itself is collapsing. Sometimes in 1930, Great Depression came. That's why they also started following some policies, distribution mechanism. Today, there is no complete capitalist state. There is no complete communist state. China, for example, the power is in the hands of Communist Party. No other party, Communist Party, but they follow economics wise capitalism. That's why. On the other hand, USA, even though it says vanguard of capitalism, but they also distribute or give tax reliefs or started distributing to the common people in the name of, in the form of healthcare and education facilities. That's why there is no pure capitalist state, no pure communism. It is in the middle. Everyone, ultimate aim is to reduce inequalities. Whether it is capitalism, whether it is socialism, whether it is communism, all are talking about wealth creation, happiness. But in the process, some are becoming very rich, benefiting, and some are not at all benefited. That is creating huge inequalities and creating injustice. Ultimately, this injustice had to go, inequality should go. That's why these ideologies emerged one after the other. Today, no one is pure capital, no one is pure communism. Different governments are following mix of both. In India also, we are following mix of both. That's all. But whatever may be the ideology, it all have influenced humanity tremendously. So this is how, with this particular chapter, capitalism, socialism, and communism was there. All right. With this, we are ending communism. But for some time in our history, in the name of some people protecting capitalism, some people protecting communism, even Cold War also took place. USA became vanguard of capitalism. Russia became vanguard of communism. They both started fighting in proxy wars in the name of protecting their ideology, because they wanted free trade, whereas communism wanted global communism. They go against each other ideologically. But after some time, communism itself collapsed in USSR in 1990s. Now there is no competition. Now it is going like a mixed one. Mixed model is going on across humanity. Ultimately, anyone wants people should not suffer from poverty. That's what the ultimate objective. That's what it is going on. And whenever this ideology, whenever people are suffering from poverty, people are going to revolt. Different ideologies used to come different in the different contexts, but ultimately they are talking about happiness to humanity. This is what all these three ideologies are talking about, that happiness. This is chapter number 8. With this, we have completed chapter 8. Please follow all the chapters one by one, then only you will understand in the right context. Otherwise, if you start somewhere in 7th chapter, you will not easily connect the previous chapters. So my humble request is always follow chapter number 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Then once you listen to these videos, you will feel very much comfortable in world history. You can write any kind of answer in UPSC. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much.